Hi, I'm Gabrielle Forman, and with me today is Robert Brennand. Hi Robert, thank you for coming in.
No, thanks for having me, it's good to be here.
Robert, you've been with Freemasonry now for 11 years. Tell us a little bit about how and why you started.
Well, I'm a little bit unusual in that I don't come from a Masonic family, or at the time had any Masonic friends. It actually was a chance meeting with someone in a supermarket one night. Out shopping, couldn't find what I was looking for. The guy standing next to me couldn't find what he was looking for. We got talking, turned out he was a Freemason, and said, well, let's catch up for coffee and talk a bit more about it. And it took off from there.
At the time that you started, did you realise just how extensive the education component of Freemasonry would be?
No, I didn't. I actually didn't know anything about it at all. So after I joined, it was a whole new experience for me.
Could you explain a little bit about the degrees and the levels of training that you've had so far?
There are three basic degrees you go through when you join: the Entered Apprentice, the Fellow Craft and the Master Mason. And then after that it's really your choice as to what you want to go on and do. I worked my way up through the offices of the lodge and became Worshipful Master a couple of years ago, which I really enjoyed, but that was my choice to go and do that.
How would you describe the degrees and the education within Freemason compared to what you'd get at a university and a TAFE?
I think it's a bit different because in a university and a TAFE you're generally having lectures. I know some of them are online now, but you're part of a class and someone's teaching you something that you want to take away to either pass an exam or do an assignment or get a skill. Whereas with Freemasonry, the education's more about it presenting its values and principles to you, and in each of the degree ceremonies you're very central to it, you're very much part of it. You're not just sitting in a class, you're being walked around the lodge, you're having things explained to you, and then at the end of that it's things that you can just take away and have a think about yourself.
And how do you think you've incorporated the education you've received here with your general day-to-day life?
It's about taking away the principles and values and some of the concepts that are talked about in each of the degrees. It's all fairly basic stuff, and I just found that I could think about it and take it back into my workplace and how I work with different people at work, into family relationships and just life in general.
Is there a component of education with Freemasonry that's quite challenging?
I think the challenge is that Freemasonry leaves it to you to take its values and that it shows you, and then it's up to you as to how you want to use those into your life, and that's the bit that I think is challenging. And it's up to you to think about it all and work out what it means to you and then how you want to use it.
And how much time has the education in Freemasonry taken out of your life?
Not a lot. Most lodges would meet once a month. There's a couple that I'm a member of that meet once every 2 months, and most of the education sort of takes part in the meetings. If you want to, you can do your own research and things outside of it, but it's pretty much the lodge meetings and the degree ceremonies where you actually pick everything up.
Freemasonry education isn't something that people take lightly. It's a decision to take on education that is going to last with you for the rest of your life. If there was any kind of advice that you could give a new Freemason about what they have to expect, what would that advice be?
I think I would tell a new Freemason to take their time. The beauty of the 3 degrees is that it's spread over about 1.5 years in doing them. And it gives you a chance to take in what you've experienced, what you've learnt, some of the principles and values that are talked about, and think about them, how you can apply them, and then you come back and you'll do another degree and you learn a bit more. So I think taking your time and enjoying it. I remember when I was waiting for my first degree, I was a little bit nervous because I knew nothing really about Freemasonry, and an old guy was talking to me and said that everybody in this room has been through what you're about to go through, and they're still here and they're still enjoying it, so enjoy it and go with the flow. And I think I'd give a new Freemason that advice.
Well, thank you, Rob, so much for coming in today and sharing your thoughts with us.
It's my pleasure.